So tell me what the Estilo brand is all about.
Yeah, sure. It's about custom, clean work. So we create work that's custom, attention to detail, just nice, clean stuff, colorful, a lot of chrome.
Yeah.
In the bike world, lowrider bike scene, it's all about a look, all about style.
Right.
So we're creating custom, clean stuff that adds flavor to your bike that's already, stylish and tricked out, and stuff that you can't just buy at your local, bike shop.
Right.
Yeah. So as far as
describe the product. Or is it one or is it multiple?
So we have ball peen hammers, right? So we do nice ball peen hammers, chrome heads, powder coated heads,
cool.
Custom engraving on the handles. We got riding masks with leather bandanas, apparel, shirts, bottle openers. We have about 7-8 different products right now.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're working on more product.
So when did you launch the company? How old is it?
2016.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's when I got the business license, the LLC, and all that stuff. So 2016, been at it for 2 years. For 2 years now. Yeah, the last year been going really, really hard. The first year was more of, just you putting the piece of the puzzle together, trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, for the last 2 years, 2016. Yeah.
So, and what made you start this? I mean, you had to. It was a big risk, a big leap of faith.
Yeah, absolutely, it was. Yeah, so I'm a 3-time felon. So I was doing full-time ministry at a church for 6 years. I felt like it was time to move on from there as far as like my job description. So leaving there, I had trouble for a whole year trying to find a job. So my criminal history or lack of education or lack of experience in that field. So I remember I went to apply at a taxi cab place. Right, so I thought chances of me driving a taxi cab, pretty good. Didn't get the job, so I walked out of there. I actually started to cry. It was like a year of being told no.
Wow.
Breaking yards, painting walls, doing whatever I can do to try to make a buck to make ends meet. Going from making a decent salary over here to like, collecting cans and dumpster diving pretty much. So when I walked out of the yellow cab interview, I started to cry, and I thought, man, nobody's gonna give me a chance. I'm gonna have to create something for myself. I didn't even know what entrepreneurship meant.
Yeah.
So I got the idea of I'm gonna have to create something for myself. So I started researching entrepreneurship, starting my own business and all that stuff, and I really started to get turned on about what that meant and what it takes, to do that.
Before you even thought of a product, you were looking at having your own business. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, providing for myself. Yeah, and so one thing led to another, and I really started to really get excited, and then I made my mind up, this is what I'm going to go after.
But why did you pick this? Why did you pick motorcycle accessories?
Yeah, so researching entrepreneurship. So I would study entrepreneurship, and a lot of successful entrepreneurs are starting their own business, and one of the common things that they would all say is to do something you're passionate about. So I figured they're successful, they know what they're talking about. So then I start to really jot down and search myself. What are my interests? What do I love to do? What would I do for free and I get paid to do it?
Right.
So I got it down to homes because I love structures, buildings, public speaking. I love public speaking and motorcycles. So I wrestled with that for a little bit, and I thought, I just really love motorcycles. I can ride my bike all day.
Yeah.
So then it was the next step of, motorcycles, now what? So that's how I came.
And you like working with your hands too. You must.
Do. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. To create something with your hands from start to finish, then sit back and look at it. I love it.
Well, your craftsmanship is beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
So hats off to that.
Yeah, thank you.
So what is success to you then?
Success to me, it's definitely not measured by numbers or possessions. I feel like success to me is, I'll never know what that looks like, because I feel like if I were to die next week, the stories that are being told at my funeral, they impact on lives, my legacy that I leave behind. Like, I think that story being told is what success will be.
So you won't know that you're successful until...
I won't know. Based on the lives that I've impacted so far, that I know that I've made some huge impacts in people's lives. That I know that at this point, if I go to glory tomorrow, that I would have been successful.
So then,
for me,
I would say that you are successful based on your definition.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, what scares you the most in running a business?
So my fear is not being enough, and I think that just goes with manhood, period, just in life and in a business, of not being enough, not being adequate enough, smart enough. never being able to fully grow into what you're fully capable of. You know, that's what I feel is like my number one fear.
So how do you overcome that? So how do you work on being enough or approving of yourself?
Right. Just being genuine, you know, from the heart, and just doing my best without like losing myself, and really just giving my business, people, relationships my best. You know? Nothing more you can do after that.
What's been the hardest thing in the last 2 years? The biggest challenge that you've overcome?
Right. I don't even have to really think about that one. So I think starting a business is very, I have to be very business-like, right? So a lot of times I love people, first of all. Take the business out of it. Like doing ministry for 6 years, my heart is for people.
Right.
I love relationships. I love people. People are my happy place. But in business, having to be, sometimes I get too business driven and I forget why I'm even doing it. And a lot of times doing business, I deal with people in a business way, which sometimes I can come off as, you know, jerkish or stern or selfish, you know.
Cut and dry.
Yeah, exactly. Cut and dry. So that part I don't like. That part of the part of me that's becoming that, I wrestle with a lot, you know? So just trying to find the balance in that.
Do you have any like daily practices or anything that you do on a regular basis to keep the humanity in the business?
What's in my heart?
Yeah.
Honestly, because that passion, just the gospel, having Christ in my heart is like that conviction. It's like, hey, conviction within says, I think you're a little too hard on that person. Like, be a lot of times I'm hard on the person and soft on the issue, and it should be that I should be hard on the issue and soft on the person.
Right, exactly.
So
it's
sometimes
really
I get those wires crossed.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm just can be a jerk.
Is there any particular stressor in the business that brings that out in you? Like not getting something out in time?
Yeah, exactly. When things don't get done.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Timeline.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, pressure, the stress. So it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So after 2 years, is it financially viable? I mean, are you making a living at it?
It's only supporting itself right now. Actually,
Okay.
I sold my bike maybe a couple months ago. About 2 months ago, I sold my motorcycle. My love, like it was almost my God. You know, the whole reason why I even started this thing. You know, but it's supporting itself, so it's growing and financially, and the money just keeps recycling through, but not enough for me to actually make a living off of it. So, and I'm happy doing this. You know, I'm happy, you know, trying to figure out where my next meal is going to come from, because this is actually like I'm really passionate about this and doing this and growing this business. That I sold my motorcycle to live off of that and some other small savings.
That's a huge sacrifice.
Yeah. And it's definitely a leap of faith. Yeah. Because if 6 months from now this thing doesn't really start to pick up, then what now? You know, I don't have another motorcycle to sell. So
what's your short-term plan? Like, where do you see Estilo in 5 years?
5 years from now, I see Estilo eventful, like not only a brand product that's known out there for quality, for commitment, for customer first, for customer satisfaction, and those things, but I see Estilo being an event, you know, a show where it brings people together, community. So my whole thing is in the bike culture alone, not even with Estilo. So I've met a lot of friends through a common interest and love and passion for motorcycles, right? So I've built a lot of friendships through that, and so Estilo, I see bringing people together, building community, building events, building relationships. So far beyond Tucson, far beyond Arizona, and even other parts of the world. So I could see myself actually really traveling around with the business and the brand and doing those things. So
that's amazing.
Got high hopes for it.
What do you do on a daily basis to keep that vision alive?
Build relationships. I think that's huge. Not only on the product itself, like every single product I put my hands on and make, I give it my best. But I think building relationships is one huge thing. Like, so let's just say there's a guy out in Sacramento, California. He bought one product for me, came back, brought another, and I start to work with this guy, figure out what he's doing. So he's putting together a run in Sacramento. So we hop on the phone. I start to build a friendship there. You know, hey, what's your name? So on and so forth. And just build relationships to where, you know, I can go out into different cities and be hosted by these people that would take me on a tour and just get in there and get integrated with, you know, the bike culture, you know, abroad. So building relationships.
So, and right now in the business, you're wearing all the hats.
Janitor, bookkeep,
you're doing
inventory,
everything.
hands-on, all these things. Yeah, but
what do you think will be the first thing that you give away, like that you hire out for help?
Which I have already done. So my friend Kelsey has come on, and it's been a great help and a great asset to the business. So she does a lot of the technology stuff. You know, the working behind the scenes, this interview, just all those things that I'm just not smart or good at. That I don't want to invest a lot of time, you know, trying to get good at. That I'd rather, you know, punt to somebody else and have them.
For sure. Staying in your sweet spot.
Exactly. I'm more back there in the shed, sweating. You know, putting the product together.
Talking on the phone.
Yeah, like I would so much rather be like out there. Like when I get to go out and go places, like that's what really excites me. You know?
So what about shows? Are you going to any motorcycle shows or anything like that?
I do here and there. I'm really busy, but I think that's very important. I will get out there eventually. In about a month, our website will go up. So I'll get out there and start going to all these shows and putting the website out there and doing those kind of things, really getting out there. So I've done a little bit, but more of that is soon to come around the corner.
Good.
Yeah, so definitely.
So is there anything that takes you down, like makes you feel like quitting?
Well, I do suffer from very, very severe depression for like 2 years. So that's like the thorn in my flesh. The product, and actually doing the product, the art part of it, the colors, the art, that kind of stuff is very therapeutic for my depression, which has nothing to do with feeling like quitting as far as my business, but that's something that I really do wrestle with. When I do feel like, when I'm not feeling really, really crippled by depression, I feel like quitting, I've developed such a habit that it's like habit takes over. You know, it's like I'm almost robotic. Like I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna have a quick healthy meal, get hydrated, I'm gonna go out there and start working, and it's like it's what I've been doing for 2 years straight. I've sacrificed all these things, social life, love life, all these things, and just have become like a possessed, hyper-focused robot. So when I feel like quitting, up here on the surface, it's like the routine and everything takes over. On a more deeper level, not forgetting why I'm doing this, the overall macro big picture, right? So not forgetting why I'm doing this, and it's for, in the end, it's for the people. It's like I want the freedom and the financial freedom and the freedom and the time to go and invest in people, to take my money and invest in people, invest in the kingdom, the gospel, and these things. So the business is just a byproduct of what actually the Estilo's mission is from the core. So when I feel like quitting, I just think like what's at stake. So
if you were to jump 10 years in the future, what's it for? How do you see yourself giving back?
Relationships, people. Like I see myself cutting checks for organizations. I mean, because you know, I can part of our About Us page on the website, it's going to say, Estilo was established in 2016 out of a passion for motorcycles, not just any motorcycle, but an Estilo style motorcycle. Custom bars, pipes, rims, and paint. A look and a lifestyle. Here at Estilo, we're about riding hard and safe, all while having a clean, custom lowrider look. We are about building genuine, professional, and personal relationships through a common passion, love, and interest in Estilo style bikes. At Estilo, we believe in giving back to local communities financially, as well as volunteering our time and our service to make a difference through a personal touch. So rather your style is Estilo, bobber, chopper, or another, keep it clean and safe and ride like the wind. So the heart, the mission, is the calling is in that about us. So 10 years from now, I would have hoped to build something so big that it's you have to delegating is where I'm looking for. To make it about people, to have such a big problem, but it's a good problem.
So take me down the road. So put yourself on your favorite bike, tricked out,
Yes.
just the way you want it. Riding down the road, you got the wind
Yeah.
in your face.
Mm-hmm.
What statement are you making to the world? Chrome is shining.
Made you look. Made you look. Made you look. Because, you know, it's just like, you know, out there, you could be out there in a bike show, you know, and it's just like, who has the best looking bike?
Right.
Who has the baddest style? Like, who's sticking out, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, and you hear a bike start off and there's 1,000 bikes, but one's driving away. You're looking at that bike, you know?
How about when you're out on a country road and there's no one around to look?
Yeah.
What are you saying about yourself? How does it feel?
Rewarding. It feels rewarding.
Yeah.
You know, I've been there. Very, very rewarding. Like this is a reward for hard work. It's you know, just getting out there and earning it. But stud. Yeah. You feel like a stud when you're out there riding. Rather it's around 1,000 people, or you're out in the mountains by yourself. I've been in both places. It's just to be on that bike is you feel like a stud.
Powerful, beautiful.
Yeah.
So what is a day in the life for you look like? Do you have a morning routine?
The same.
To start with?
Not so much like in the morning. You know, I'm trying not to first thing get on my phone.
Yeah.
I got a bad habit of doing that because a lot of my sales are, you know, based online. So I wake up in the morning hoping that I have like 100 sales to fulfill that day.
Looking forward to the day that you do. Yeah.
You know, but it's pretty much the same every day. And so I live at my place of business. So it's a house. It's my house, but it's a place of business. There's not a couch in there or nothing, right?
Yeah.
So I got the luxury of just getting out of bed, hitting the shower, getting a quick bite to eat, and then straight to the back or wherever to work. You know, so I do that. First thing I do is get up, breakfast, hydrate, a nice shower, pay attention to my dog a little bit, you know, and then work for 2-3 hours, and then find the balance of, okay, so if I just sit here and work, it's bad enough that my social skills and all that are already taking a hit because I'm becoming real antisocial and don't get out too much and stuff like that. So I really try to find that balance. So I'll purposely, no matter how busy I am or in the middle of something, I'll put the tools down, put the paint down. I'll check out for an hour, go play some basketball, go for a jog, go meet a cousin or a friend for lunch. You know, then get back to work in the afternoon, you know, work all to the evening, 7 o'clock, been going at it for 10 hours, and then same thing there, you know, go visit family or something to get out, to stay sane, to find that balance, because it's real easy for me to really be isolated. And I think that's very, very dangerous. But I'm borderline right there, like, of going over.
Yeah.
So a day in the life of Adrian, 24 hours would be get up, work, recreational, back to work, recreational, back to work, bed.
Yeah. Any advice you would have for someone who wants to start their own business?
I would say to make sure you know what you're asking for sure. It takes a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hard work, a lot of commitment. And I would think to save time, because I'm learning, right? So one thing I am learning about entrepreneurship is that I have a lot to learn. But I feel at this point I've learned enough to be able to tell somebody that to be sure that you know exactly what it is you want and what you're going after, because I'm learning. And as we talked about before we were on the Michael Gerber E-Myth, you know, being the technician and working in your business rather than on your business. To be sure that you know, like, that there's a big difference between being an entrepreneur and starting your own business, and how you can get tied down and wrapped up in what you think entrepreneurship is, and end up just really hating what you're doing.
Right.
Which you're thinking about, or you have already crossed over onto entrepreneurship because you didn't like what you were doing in the first place. So I would say to really do your research and find out exactly what it is that you know that you're asking for, and study what true entrepreneurship looks like.
Right.
And I would even say, like, to test yourself to see if you have what it takes. I mean, because you and I both know the commitment that it takes. You know, it's like religiously, it's a lifestyle, 24 hours a day. Do something like, let's just say you bowl every Wednesday night, you love to get with your friends, it's a good time, you love to bowl, like call time out and cancel the bowling night, you know, and lock yourself somewhere or go off somewhere and try to read a book or do something and see if you can like turn all that off and just focus on what you're doing. You know, it's like, you know, test yourself, see if you have what it takes, you know, because it's not for everybody. So just make sure you know what you're asking for.
Does anybody ever say like, oh, you're so lucky, you get to set your own schedule, you work for yourself, man, that must be cool?
Yeah, I think that there's definitely people who don't know what it takes. It's like, no, I think you're the lucky one, right?
Yeah, you have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. But when it goes good and you reap the reward, right?
Right.
When you know that it bears fruit, and it's rewarding and it, you know it shows,
right?
Then it's like, yeah, you know, you've made it, you're there. But getting there is just, you know, and even maintaining, you know, I haven't been to where you're at, where you're maintaining, you know, but yeah, definitely they say that I'm lucky, but I'm just like, you're lucky because you probably slept 8 hours last night.
Yeah, exactly.
I slept 2. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what do you love the most about it?
The art. I love the art. I love start and finish. Leadership. I love the fact that I get to work on my leadership skills. Self-leadership is very important, you know, because there's nobody there like cheering me on to get out of bed. Like,
leader of self, absolutely.
You know, to say, all right, you do this, you got it, you can do it, you're doing great, you have what it takes. You know, it's like, you don't hear that all the time. And so self-leadership, I love the fact that it takes leadership to do it. The creativity, I love creativity. I love to create, and that I can create whatever it is that I want, right? So I can do what I want. It's mine. I can make it mine. I love the business part of it as far when it comes to integrity, character, honesty. I love to show up on time. I love to do what I say I'm going to do. I love that part of it. Like to just really be yourself and grow in that area is what I love that part. Yeah.
Tell me about when we were looking at some of your things last time, your leather work, and tell me about some of your products and how they fill a specific niche that they fill. Because I know that you do some things that really aren't available elsewhere.
Right, and I think that's why people are really liking it. You know, so the product I like because it's so custom, right? So you can't just go into the I should have brought a couple of things for you that you haven't seen back then, but so they don't serve a purpose as far as like, so you're not going to take this hammer off your bike and like beat your you know, a part of your bike because it's messed up, right? Because it's cost you $100 in this part,
right?
But just the touch it adds, you know, it's like it really serves no purpose as far as being used, but the touch that it adds looks wise, you know, it's like it just adds a flavor that you can't just go to your local bike shop and buy this thing. So it's just really custom work. Yeah. Nice. So that's what you get at Estilo. Yeah. So.
Wonderful.
What's Plan B? You didn't ask me about Plan B. Back to where it all started. Like just back to that place where, you know, if this thing fails, right? If this thing just doesn't work out, I would have walked away with a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, wisdom, relationships that were built through this, that won't end if this ends. But Plan B for me would be going back to where it all started, like that place of brokenness, like back to where after I was told no at the taxi cab interview, right? When I went in my car and sat down and started crying, like really what inside, like really what was happening. So I would go back to that, and that's like my answer. But it reminds me of J.K. Rowling, you know, the creator of Harry Potter. Yeah. So I remember her saying the same thing. Also, I was like, and I could really identify with that. I was like, that's exactly what I'm saying and what I would have done when I saw the interview. But they asked her a similar question. So she was at this little apartment that she used to have, no furniture or anything. Somebody else was renting it, but they went back and she was telling her story. And they're like, what would you do if like it all just went away and you had to start over? And she's like, I would start right here. Like I would start in this room where I was broken, didn't know where my next meal was coming from, what's next, like just in this pit, you know?
Yeah.
So I would go back to that.
Yeah.
And what would come out of that, I don't know.
And
Maybe we'll find out, but
so
hopefully not.
what do you think are the chances that it's that it would not succeed? I mean, what are the
Slim.
chances of that?
Slim.
Yeah.
Yeah. I it's promising.
Yeah.
People love the product. I'm selling the product all over the world.
Yeah.
I think the fact that you can't just go into your local bike shop or just go online and choose from 10 different providers, I think that's like that niche part, I think we're going to be okay.
Well, I think the way people are right now, they want something that speaks for themselves. They don't want something off the shelf. They want something custom,
Exactly.
individual,
Yes.
unique.
Yes, and we're working on like adding that value to like studying brand building. What does it mean, right? Like to add value, like you know, like Nike. When you put that on, like when I play basketball and I strap up my Nikes, like I feel like I'm gonna win. Like I'm gonna make every shot. I'm gonna get every rebound. I'm gonna get a couple steals.
Yeah.
You know, just like I feel like I'm gonna win. You know, and just like really studying and trying to. Like what value when people buy from me, like what you know, so working on that. But
Sounds like Estilo is more than about style, it's about power too.
yeah, absolutely.
Feeling powerful.
Yep, a certain feeling.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
I appreciate.
So nice seeing you again.
Appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you.